You are watching KVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman.
And I'm Trenton Whiting.
Tonight, a major escalation in the Middle East. President Trump confirms that Iran's supreme leader was killed in the strike that the U.S. and Israel carried out Saturday.
Al Khamenei had led the nation for over 30 years. ABC's Ashan Singh has the latest.
Tonight, President Trump announcing in a social media post that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is dead, calling him, quote, one of the most evil people in history.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
The president adding that just eliminating Iranian leadership will not stop the joint U.S.-Israeli attack, saying what he describes as heavy and pinpoint bombing will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as necessary to achieve our objective. The White House releasing images of the president monitoring the mission from Mar-a-Lago, watching what officials are calling Operation Epic Fury unfold in real time. The daytime assault beginning at 9:45 a.m. Iranian time with a barrage of Tomahawk missiles and for the first time in U.S. combat, one-way drones striking multiple targets in Iran for hours. Buildings and cars in flames. New satellite images showing extensive damage to the supreme leader's compound. Iran responding within hours, launching retaliatory strikes across the region. A barrage of missiles launched into Israel, many intercepted, but some breaking through the air defenses. Iran also targeting at least 4 U.S. bases in the region. Dramatic videos showing strikes near a U.S. naval base in Bahrain, where some 3,200 Americans are stationed. Iranian officials say over 1,000 people were killed in this wave of attacks. So far, no U.S. casualties have been announced. In Israel, at least one person was reported killed, with more than 100 injured. Ashan Singh, ABC News, New York.
Protests over U.S. strikes on Iran unfolded in cities nationwide Saturday. This was the scene in Dallas where anti-war demonstrators denounced U.S. and Israeli actions that led to the death of Iran's supreme leader and other top officials. Similar rallies were held in Los Angeles, New York, and other major cities. But across the country, others gathered in support of the strikes. Many praised President Donald Trump's decision to target Tehran, saying they hope the action leads to change in Iran's government and greater freedom for its people.
The United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting tonight in New York City after the U.S. and Israel launched those military strikes and killing Iran's supreme leader. In remarks, Iran's ambassador to the UN said the United States and Israel must be held accountable and that Iran has the right to exercise self-defense. Ambassador Amir Saeed Iravani telling the council that attacks were an unprovoked and premeditated aggression.
And the family of Dennis Lee Richardson Jr. is still looking for justice after he was killed by a hit and run. Today, community members joined for a fundraiser bike rally in his honor. The family says it's been difficult since losing him, but the community coming together has been a positive outcome from their unfortunate situation.
Words can't even explain how I feel. And just to, like I said, to see the support, I couldn't ask for anything better. Of course, still hurt. That pain is never going to go away.
Police are still looking for information on the vehicle that killed Dennis. Those with info can call the Victoria Crime Stoppers line at 361-572-4200.
Well, it was a little windy. You could tell in the video there that the wind was kicking up, but it was a beautiful day.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day.
Especially for those who made it to the county fair.
Sunshine, livestock show, which was nice. I enjoyed that.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed that Thursday.
Yes, absolutely. But, you know, what's going on with the weather for the rest of the weekend and to start the week? And we'll go to Trey Mining.
Warm temperatures, and yes, that wind's rather gusty, especially this afternoon. That wind will still be up a little bit in the overnight tonight to keep that fog from being too thick out there. Currently on the outside, current temperature 65 degrees. So we're cooling down a little bit. Won't be too much lower than this for our overnight low though, because of the increasing humidity in the air, which is at 97%, almost saturated. So we wouldn't be surprised seeing a little bit of fog out there. Humidity levels will quite high. There's winds coming in off the Gulf. keeping that humidity level high, and that's also a good thing because the higher humidity, more moisture in the air, and more chance that the fires will not get out of control but don't burn outside, because it's still very dangerous out there, a lot of dry vegetation out there, so please be careful. Wait till another day before you have to do that. Seeing some good rainfall chances, it's about time for that. When will they be? We'll find out later on in the full forecast to come. Back to you guys.
2 people are safe tonight after a frightening incident in the air this morning in Longview. Authorities say a hot air balloon crashed into a cell phone tower near Highway 300 and FM 1844. Emergency crews responded quickly to the scene. Officials say strong winds at that elevation made rescue efforts more difficult. The 2 people inside the balloons were successfully brought down and are safe.
Well, nearly 4 weeks after Nancy Guthrie was abducted from her Tucson home, her daughter Savannah is renewing her emotional plea for answers as investigators refocus resources, review new surveillance video, and more.
From Savannah Guthrie after her mom Nancy was abducted from her Tucson home nearly 4 weeks ago.
But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home.
Savannah resharing this video Friday that she originally posted 4 days ago, urging viewers to come forward if they know anything.
You can call the 1-800 tip line. You can be anonymous if you want.
This, as new surveillance video obtained by Fox News Digital, shows a car about 2.5 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home around 2:30 a.m., around the time police believe she was taken on February 1st. The FBI confirming the video is part of the investigation, but it's unclear if it's of any value.
Pima County Sheriff's Department?
The Pima County Sheriff's Department announcing on Friday it is refocusing resources to detectives specifically assigned to this case. And as leads are developed and resolved, resource allocation may fluctuate. Police will maintain a patrol presence in the Guthrie neighborhood.
We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery.
After the family's announcement on Tuesday of the $1 million reward for information leading to Nancy's return, according to the FBI, roughly 1,500 new tips came in, but that has since tapered off. Authorities are offering an additional $200,000 reward.
Federal prosecutors would not appeal a judge decision to take the death penalty off the table in Luigi Mangione case. Mangione is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in December of 2024. Friday's ruling means Mangione's federal trial can move forward with jury selection in September. His state trial is set to begin in June. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to both state and federal charges.
Now, as Black History Month comes to an end, communities are still celebrating the accomplishments of those who came before them. This Port Lavaca event was hosted at Drifters Hall. Attendees listened to music and heard presentations and poetry that painted the Black experience from the past to the present.
That's the tradition of this. Our legacy lives on. It started at one point in time when there was no legacy, and now it's true. Everybody can do anything they put their minds to. There's no barrier. There's no wall that you can't get around it. We've proven that. And the history, our history, is the United States history. Our legacy is the United States legacy. And I thrive on that.
This event was put together mostly by senior citizens in the community.
And for more local news, content, weather, and sports, come to our website at crossroadstoday.com.
And if you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com.
Coming up, the father of the accused school shooter takes the stand, and what he says about the gun purchase is drawing attention next.
And the humidity levels on the rise, which is good, helps to reduce fire danger somewhat. And these humidity levels will continue to rise in the next several days, which will give chances for rainfall a big lift around here. What days will see the most chances? Find out in my forecast.
Welcome back. Now to the father whose son is accused of killing 2 teachers and 2 students in Georgia. The father taking the stand is his own defense, accused of buying his son the gun, even when there were warnings. Here's the latest.
The father of the teenager accused of killing 2 students and 2 teachers at the suburban Atlanta high school is tearfully defending himself on the witness stand, saying he didn't see warning signs that his son could kill.
You know, he's a good kid. I don't know if anybody could ever see that kind of evil.
But prosecutors say that Colin Gray ignored too much, charging him with second-degree murder, saying that he bought his son this AR-15 style rifle used in the killings at Appalachia High School as a Christmas present, about 7 months after getting a visit from the sheriff's office saying that the FBI had flagged his son for allegedly threatening online to shoot up a different school. The father admitted to jurors that he kept guns in the home unlocked, even after conversations with his son about panic attacks and depression.
The gun was a thing that him and I used to bond with, and I was very clear on the rules.
His son is now 16 years old. He's in custody tonight and he's waiting on his trial. He's pleading not guilty to murder and other charges. His father is pleading not guilty to second-degree murder and more than 24 other crimes. His prosecution is part of a larger effort to hold parents responsible for these school shootings. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
The United States and Israeli strikes on Iran have sparked widespread flight delays and cancellations across the Middle East. Passengers gathered at Dubai International Airport on Saturday as carriers scrambled to adjust schedules. Israel, Iran, Iraq, and Jordan closed their airspace following the attacks. Airlines suspended or rerouted flights with tracking maps showing aircraft avoiding large sections of the region. With Russian and Ukrainian airspace already closed to most airlines, the Middle East has become a critical corridor between Europe and Asia. American Airlines suspended its flights between Doha, Qatar, and Philadelphia, and United Airlines announced it will temporarily cancel flights from the U.S. to Dubai and Tel Aviv.
For the first time in American history, a former president has been made to testify before Congress.
Bill Clinton spent hours answering questions about his connections to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Here's ABC's Michelle Franzen with the latest.
That no person is above the law, even presidents, especially presidents.
Former President Bill Clinton becomes the first president in American history forced to testify before Congress. Grilled for hours by the Republican-led House Oversight Committee about his relationship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The former president released a video message on X reiterating what he told the committee.
I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong.
The Justice Department's Epstein files show Clinton posing with young women. Here is a photo of him in a pool with Epstein's accomplice and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, and here in a jacuzzi with an unidentified woman. The photos were taken after he left the White House and before Jeffrey Epstein was under investigation. Sources telling ABC News the former president was asked if he had sex with the woman, and Clinton said he did not. Clinton has not been accused of wrongdoing. This coming on the heels of his wife and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton testifying before Congress for nearly 7 hours.
I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein.
Democrats saying since Republicans subpoenaed Hillary Clinton, they should also speak with First Lady Melania Trump, since she did know Epstein, also demanding President Trump speak on his relationship with Epstein.
Republicans have now set a new precedent, which is to bring in presidents and former presidents to testify. We are now asking and demanding that President Trump officially come in and testify in front of the Oversight Committee.
Republicans refusing to call Trump to testify. Trump speaking out on Clinton's testimony today, despite directing the Justice Department to investigate him.
I like him, and I don't like seeing him deposed.
Committee Chair James Comer says lawmakers expect to release the transcripts of both Bill and Hillary Clinton's depositions as early as next week. Michelle Franzen, ABC News, New York.
Instagram is taking action to help prevent potential self-harm among children. The platform says it will notify parents if their children are found to have repeatedly looked for information related to suicide. In a statement, Instagram's owner Meta said these alerts are, quote, designed to give parents the information they need to support their teen. Users have to opt it to be eligible for the alerts, which are expected to start next week in the U.S., Britain, Australia, and Canada. This comes as Meta is defending itself in trials where their platforms are alleged to have caused harm to young users.
Now experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Let's take a review of the day. It was nice and warm and windy this afternoon. 82 degrees was the official high. Low 59 degrees, above normal for our normal high and low. Nowhere near our records though, not anywhere near that. We're under normal for rainfall. Unfortunately, we're quite dry out there. Some better rain chances coming up this week than we've had in quite a while. We'll talk about that coming up in your forecast. And good evening, everyone. Trey Mining here. Temperatures, well, at 6 o'clock, we were in the mid-70s. We're cooling off now into the 60s and pretty much staying this way for the rest of the night with increasing humidity in the air, a few clouds, and a little bit of some patchy fog, especially in the eastern counties and along the coast. During the overnight, early morning hours tomorrow, we'll keep those temperatures pretty much near where they are right now, maybe 1 or 2 degrees cooler, and that's just about it. So the winds off the Gulf, keeping that humidity building up and increasing across the entire area, which is good, which is the more moisture available in the atmosphere, of course, moisture available anywhere, will reduce the fire danger, so we're having that as a positive, but still no burning out there if you can avoid it. We're just best ways for another day would be the best advice I could give. Foggy conditions, but I have my visibilities by about 5 a.m. in the morning, and then a little bit along the coast, and then coming up for your Saturday, Sunday I should say, mainly in our eastern counties and along the coastal zones will be the best chance to see fog. Nothing widespread. I think that wind will be up a little bit, kind of keeping that fog mixed out a little bit. But don't be surprised if you see a little bit of it, especially eastern counties and along the immediate coast. High pressure to the east, winds coming in off of the Gulf, keeping the humidity on the rise around here, and that's certainly a good thing. Also with the humidity on the rise, that gives available moisture in the atmosphere with some fronts trying to come down. I say trying, they're trying to make it down to about right here. Next couple of days, for the majority of next week, and kind of here and there every few days. Won't make it all the way through. I don't think they have the push to make it all the way through. So our temperatures won't be changing, but they'll be close enough to create more instability in the atmosphere and give us some better rain chances coming up for the middle and latter half of next week coming up. Foggy conditions here and there, especially as you go up highway up there to Wharton County and points to the northeast toward Houston and Galveston area. They'll have the best chance to see fog. Maybe a little bit along the coast early in the morning hours. No rain anticipated overnight or your day tomorrow. With morning clouds, then giving way to sunny conditions, partly cloudy skies by the afternoon. Port Lavaca, starting off with a little bit of foggy condition this morning, and in the morning tomorrow morning, I should say. Then partly cloudy skies, mostly sunny skies throughout the entire day. High temperatures, a little bit of benefit of the sea breeze, giving those folks there in the upper 70s near 80 degrees. So a few degrees cooler down there in Calhoun County. And in Quail, some early morning cloud cover and fog conditions till about 9 a.m. or so. Topping 80 degrees by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, low 80s by the 3 o'clock hour will be the daytime high there, with sunny to partly cloudy skies, and pretty much the same for Victoria, starting off with a little bit of patchy fog and some clouds early tomorrow morning. Then partly cloudy skies, give way to mostly sunny skies by the afternoon, highs 81, 82 by the 3 p.m. hour. Extended forecast for us here, and it's looking good. We'll have dry conditions and rather windy coming up for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Rain chance on Thursday with another front that comes through, but not making it all the way through, but close enough to give us some rainfall chances. Better rain chances by the weekend with a stronger front and more instability in the air. Highs in the 80s, so no change in temperatures. Lows in the 60s. Let's take a look at this right here. This is a QR code you see on your screen. So what you need to do is get your smartphone, scan the code that you see right there. They take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Easy, convenient, and free to have on your phone to be connected with us. And the man that's connected with sports, here he is, Mr. Ray Robinson.
Thank you, Trey. We got more fallout from last night's big game, which saw Goliad beat Randolph. Here from Shane Davis, Logan Youngblood, and Joe Hand coming up in sports. All right, Crossroad, we got more fallout from last night's big game. The Goliad Tigers are one of the last teams standing in the postseason hunt in the Crossroad Hoops, but who's really surprised? I mean, this squad has run through the toughest of schedules in the area, and all from the preseason all the way to district. And last night's win proved a comeback is always possible as long as everyone plays their role.
I can box him out, push him around. That was really like my key strategy, was to not let him get to his spot, and on the rebounds, push him back as far as I could, and then just jump high, trying to at least tip the ball. I'm looking forward to still practicing. I'm looking forward to still being with my teammates, working hard.
We had a lot of energy. That's what made us go harder, and our teammates on the bench, they helped us, they cheered us on and have confidence and keep on shooting the ball and play some better defense because our defense was kind of off. We had a lot of people in the middle.
No, I have experience of what to do now. 2 times in a row we had a close game, and gets our confidence up with our shot and more knowledge with the game.
And postseason action is also cranking up for the powerlifting team here in the Crossroads. St. Joseph High School hosted a big boys qualifier meet today with lifters fighting for a spot at regional. The girls hit the platform Wednesday for their own regional meet run, but today's was stacked with local schools such as St. Joseph, East and West, plus Goliad and Hallettsville going bar for bar. So please stay tuned on 25 News Now as we await the results for our local boys as they try to advance to the regional powerlift meet. And at Riverside this afternoon, A&M Victoria squared off with Louisiana Christian. It was a fun one for the Jags offense as they cracked double-digit runs. Louisiana Christian did make a push after going scoreless through the first 4 innings, plating a 4-run frame, then single runs in the 6th and 7th inning. But Victoria still took care of business against a top-ranked team led by Beck Zimmerman with 3 RBIs and three more Jags with 2 RBIs each. The Jaguars win it 12-8. A&M softball also was the home team at the Victoria Sports Complex today, wrapping up their series against Texas A&M San Antonio. The Jags started off slow, held scoreless through the first couple of innings and couldn't complete the comeback, falling to the A&M San Antonio final score 8-5. The series is now 2-1. Angelina Morales and Cameron Weirlow each drove two RBIs with the loss. A&M drops to a 12-3 overall and now turn its focus to Williams Baptist on the road next Friday. And with March Madness approaching, the Houston Cougars are still look like one of the top teams. Trent, I know you like to hear this in all of college basketball. Today they took on Colorado in some Big 12 action, and despite a hot start from the Buffaloes, the Cougs fought fire from deep. Fleming finds Uzan on this play right here, and there you see Uzan as he just continues to hit a three with ease. He just had a monster day leading the Houston Cougars with 26 points, and the Cougars make light work of the Colorado, rolling to a 102-62 victory. Houston will face Baylor on Wednesday. But that does it for your sports. Amaya and Trenton.
Thank you, Ray. One police officer is serving the community in a different way. Learn about that next.
A Pennsylvania police officer is inspiring young students to try something new. Rebecca Key Gaskins is nearing the end of her career with the Temple University Police Department, but she's been teaching Catholic school children in North Philadelphia the basics of crochet. Key Gaskins is part of the Cops in the Classroom program, where law enforcement is invited to read to students, but this veteran officer wanted to pass down a skill she learned from her mother that's now a therapeutic hobby. Key Gaskins said she plans to retire this year and hopes to continue teaching children in the years to come. Now, that's a pretty cool skill.
That is so therapeutic.
Yeah, it is therapeutic.
That looks therapeutic. That's something I can sit there and just do. Like,
Absolutely.
that's a hobby.
I've gotten a crochet scarf. I've gotten a crochet blanket. They're nice.
I never got anything that was crochet.
They're nice. They're nice. That's
I want
cool
one.
skill.
I might need to learn how to do it so I can just start crocheting in my own little blanket.
I think that's the play.
I need to learn how to do it. I need some lessons.
Well, it's definitely not blanket weather. Yeah, maybe crochet, they got those big holes, but
I mean, no, they can have some different styles, but they can have summer weather and blanket or cold weather.
You're right. My bad.
Crochet by
summer crochet? I've never heard of that, but
I didn't say summer crochet. Okay. Anyway, how's the weather looking, Trey?
Warm. I tell you what, highs in the 80s coming up all week next week. Rain chances on Wednesday, 30%, and better rain chances for the weekend. I know it's the weekend, but we do need the rainfall. Highs in the 80s, so looking forward to that. Lows in 60s, pretty much consistent all week.
Back in the 80s, so thank you for joining us.
we hope to see you back here Sunday for 25 News Now Weekends at 5:30. Have a great night.